Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. If you like The Mike Wagner Show and you want to make your own podcast, well, let me tell you about Anchor. First of all, it's free. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. You can also add any song from Spotify directly to your episodes. The possibilities are endless. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. You can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. This edition of The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss Grandma's meatballs? The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever gift of Grandma's recipes, or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotobooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books, bringing your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss Grandma's meatballs, huh? The holidays are coming, and what better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whether a gift of Grandma's recipes or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at Picture This Photo Books at 646-798-0809. That's 646-798-0809. Or visit picturethisphotobooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books. Bring your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you. And don't forget to check out the Mike Wagner Show on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. And take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter today, and check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise coming soon to the MikeWagnerShow.com, and also on Amazon as well, too, at the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, a lot more. Makes great gifts 24/7, 365. And also check out the Me and Moses and Zia store at Amazon with Missing, Ones, Wrinkles, and other great books, along with great merchandise. Check out the Amazon.com store at Me and Moses and Zia as well. Make sure you pick some up. And don't forget to donate to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, and also to support us on Anchor FM/support and PayPal at Mike Wagner Voiceover or the Mike Wagner Show, and make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific duo out of London who's got their own film company and have worked with actor David Biscoe, who I had on the show, just a tremendous actor on Remnant Revolver, and also The Progress, The Right Gun, and Dead Destination. And they're a multi-award winning and nominated British independent film company. And their genres include grindhouse and sci-fi horror, action, and a lot of humor as well too. And of course, got some new projects on the way as well too, down the pipeline. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios from the other side of the pond in beautiful downtown London, the co-owners of Bohemian Beaumont Films, the very multi-talented Stevie, Alexandria, Maxwell, and Paul Van Beaumont. Guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Good evening and midnight. I can see the vampire bats flying around. It's so dark outside.
Oh my goodness. You know something? I talked to somebody about vampires and they're making a comeback too. So I guess I wouldn't be surprised they came over here and came over there. So, well, I guess we'll have to get their attention in the meantime. So we do that. So.
That was one of my problems in my early days of acting. I was a typecast 5 times, I believe, on playing a vampire.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. One of the camera crew said, don't you think you've been typecast? You're playing vampires far too many times. I mean, I was in Evil of the Vampires, Vampire Gang Origins, then a comedy film called Rock Band vs. Vampires. And then I was in another one called, it was just great. It was just one after the next. I said, why do you keep getting all these vampire roles? I said, I don't know. I do apply for them, but then it's almost by word of mouth. Someone says, oh, you're making a vampire film. Take Paul. Paul's good at it. And that's the way it just goes. It's just one thing off. If it's not vampires, it's science fiction films I was getting cast as. So that was one of the things that happens. I'm sure it happens to loads of actors and actresses. You get typecast all the time.
At least you're taking a bite out of the role too. So look at that way. You're taking a bite out of it. So,
teeth into it.
Very bloody. Oh, it's bloody too. So. Well, we're glad to give us a little bit of background as well too. And you worked with actor David Biscoe and on quite a few films, and multi-award winning film company as well too, nominated for some awards. And before we get into Bohemian Beaumont Films and more, guys, tell us how you first got started in your career. So Steve, you can go ahead and start, and then Paul, since you told us about some, you can also jump in as well too. So take turns.
I've always wanted to be involved in doing films and started quite late, but I think that I've made a bit of an impact, I hope. I started doing small parts, like just being on film sets, helping out, doing running work, doing makeup, doing anything basically that they would allow me to do, trying to get a good feel of how things worked and how everything interacted. I started doing some acting as well as doing stuff behind the scenes. I met Paul on a film that we were making together.
Return of the Dawn.
And Return of the Dawn film. And when that was when we met, and we formed a friendship, and then we formed a relationship. And since about it was actually Halloween that we kind of got together in about 2016, weekend of Halloween.
Yeah, a nice time to have an anniversary. You see what I mean, Mike, about vampires? See, Halloween. I couldn't even get away with it in real life.
Happy anniversary. I'm going to take a bite out of you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been there since, been together since then. And obviously working together on films since then. So things like Dead Destination. I've also meeting David Biscoe on that, who's involved with the project. So I joined that project about.
Well, he was involved in one of the films I did back in 2014, I think, Metamorphosis, which started as a short film and went on to be now turned into a feature film, which still hasn't been released yet. But I think I'm going to change the title of Metamorphosis AD, and then obviously worked on The Destination and Reverent Revolver, which is the Western, and Echoes from Ashes, which was Weekend just gone.
Yes.
So that's been going for a while, you know, working with him on that one.
Okay.
And other people like Lamin Tamba and Julia as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing too. And how'd you guys first meet David Biscoe?
I met him on about 2014 when I was just doing acting. That was just doing small projects, short films, and then obviously, like I said, we met on did Vampire Resurrection. But before that, we were already doing stuff on, like I said, Metamorphosis, the films that I was doing, which he came on board with that one. And then he was on Dead Destination, which again progressed into didn't expect it, you know, multi-nominations and multi-wins on that one as well. From Tokyo selected and
a few American
America
as well.
America as well, yeah. So that was kind of a shock because obviously we're branching out into a bigger pool.
Which was wonderful. Thank you.
Which is good. which is good.
We love you.
It gives you confidence because you think to yourself, wow, you know, we're going into an area where there's more people to go up, have our films up against. So
absolutely.
It was nice to get that feedback. You know what I mean? But Reverent Revolver has done very good 3 awards already. That was done in 2019. Well, it was filmed in 2019, ready in 2020.
Wow, that is amazing. And then Stevie talked about how she got started, and Paul, let's talk about how you got started in your career.
I've just always had a love for films. I mean, I grew up with what I call a good diet of science fiction and westerns. You know, it was ranging from either spaghetti westerns to Star Wars, Star Trek, right up to something like Blade or Underworld, you know. So it just started from there, really, my love for films, and I just took it up and did it part-time as well as doing a full-time job, and then bit by bit, just it started to snowball and do other projects with other people, and thought, I'll give it a shot. I'll put some pen to paper and write something down, and then that's when I came up with the idea for Metamorphosis, which is a supernatural kind of sci-fi film. And it turned out all right. I thought the camera angles that I wanted, I said, you know, this is how I wanted to storyboard it, and so I started writing it, and it came together. And people, I suppose people were, when I put the trailer up, they were kind of, who knew me, were like, oh, that looks okay. Who did the camera angles? I said, well, I did a storyboard, and Thomas followed the instructions, and it came through quite cool. And I thought, and then jumped to Dead Destination and started that as a science fiction kind of, I would say it's more like dystopia, kind of Star Trek kind of style, I would say, with zombies in it. So that kind of took off as well. And then while we were filming that, which is because it was a feature film, that's when I met you. And then we decided to do the Grindhouse kind of Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez style with The Right Gun, which is available on our YouTube channel on Bohemian Beaumont Films. And we plugged that. And again, people were like, it was done for so few people, but it looked quite good. But yeah, I was satisfied with it. There was things that you're never satisfied as a filmmaker. There's parts that I would like to clean up, but it was a good testing ground for putting something out there that the public could see, because other films were locked down in post-production, ready to go to film festivals.
That's really interesting. And what was that one precise moment that influenced you guys into what you're doing today? So what was that one moment that simply said, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life? So one of you go ahead and answer the question.
Ladies first.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Ladies first. You know, something I got so caught up in social media that's been lost in the shuffle. So thank you for the reminder, Paul. Ladies first, as always.
Ladies first.
I always, we did directed and produced Dead Destination together. And we went and took everything from about 2016 onwards. We've been working together as a team. And I've done some writing as well. And I think for me, the main thing that really pushed me was that I grew up watching science fiction, horror films, action films. I've never been the person to like romantic comedies or the period dramas or anything like that. And people say, oh, you're a female, you should like these things, you should wear pink. And they have this kind of, I think there's this attitude as well as about what a woman should be doing. But I think to myself is that I like writing, and I like writing psychological horrors. I like writing thrillers. I like writing things that have got a twist to them. I like all these kinds of things. And I think that I want to kind of write the kind of films that I enjoy watching. And when you grow up watching things like The Twilight Zone, and I don't know if you guys used to get that over in America, but Tales of the Unexpected, the 12-year-old doll and things like that. I love that sort of thing.
I do believe I have Tales of the Unexpected here in the States. I do believe it. And I remember watching that. That was an amazing series.
I used to love that because it's like some of them were obviously better than others, but you'd kind of watch them and you'd try and guess what was going to happen in the end, like with The Twilight Zone or The Outer Limits or things like that. We'd have these wonderful little twists at the end, and sometimes several of them. And you're watching really great movies, which you see and you really admire, and you think, oh, I want to be able to write like that. I want to be able to create a story like that, which you're not quite sure what's going to happen, or you see the different character developments and different personalities change and react to the situations that they go through, and thinking, I want to be able to write things like that. I want to be able to make films like that. I want to be able to have people sitting on the edge of their seats thinking, like, what's going to happen, or feel like, I didn't see that coming. That kind of situation, and very much wanting to be able to present stories like that in films like that. So that's the aspiration that I have.
It almost sounds like a Sherlock Holmes type of feel. And another show I remember that had like these twists and turns, these unexpected, was Dark Shadows. That was a pretty big one back in the day too. Dark Shadows, and I can't remember who it was. That was so like a spinoff of the Twilight Zone. I think there was another story to it, but Dark Shadows was actually very popular back then too. I remember watching that. Edge of the Seat, Unexpected, and unbelievable.
And Creep Show as well. Those were some very good series.
Creep Show, yeah.
That was really
Creep Show, yes. Oh my gosh.
Really good. And I suppose is that when I think about all of those shows, which I used to really love kind of watching and growing up on, including old-fashioned creature features, like the
Wishmaster,
Doug McClure films and things like that, which I really love watching on a Sunday morning. You know, it's like, or like the Ray Harryhausen films and things like that, which were kind of like, oh, you want to see those things, and The Creature from the Black Lagoon and all those sorts of things. And I try to think about what TV series there are now which are kind of like those kinds of things, and I just feel that we're lacking in those a bit. So I just feel as though I want to write in that kind of genre more so, that kind of horror, kind of science fiction, kind of fantasy, twisty-turny kind of.
American Horror Stories is good.
American Horror Stories, excellent.
Yeah. I think the one thing that comes to mind is that my kids were watching was Stranger Things, and that was a big one on Netflix, and I think that was something similar, Stranger Things.
I've seen season 1. I've not seen the other ones yet.
But
so they're kind of like on my watch list when I have time.
I think time's the biggest thing too.
Because you're so constantly writing, and you're constantly like in post-production editing, that people tell you about, oh, Paul, you would like this, or like, was it Altered Carbon? I got recommended. You'll love it, but it's finding the time to watch them. And then like one day, you just like probably Christmas, you're gonna have to literally sit down and binge, on watching and catching up with what everyone else has seen, The Boys and what else is, I can't remember what's on my watch list. Because we've seen season 1 and 2 of The Boys, haven't we? It's just so much to watch now.
So there are some very good inspirational things to be able to watch that's on TV at the moment, and just wanting to kind of live up to the old style of things and the new style as well.
And of course, I was on with the guest too, talking about vampires, and there's supposed to be a vampire movie coming out, but the last really good one I saw, I think, was like the somewhere in the mid to late 80s or early 90s. It was Bram Stoker's Dracula. That was like another remake. And I think that was like the really good one. Since we're on the subject of the vampires, it's like, I think we're just really overdue for a brand new vampire movie. And I think there was one, what was it? Similar, but not like a movie. What was it? Twilight. It's like, I remember that was like close to it, I think. Twilight.
We just literally watched one 2 days ago. What was it called on Netflix?
Blood Sky.
Blood Sky.
Blood Sky. I didn't know about that.
It was a shock to us. It's done different. It's done really different.
Yes.
It's all just on an aeroplane. It's done very well.
Wow.
If you remember Phone Booth, I don't know if you remember Phone Booth with Colin Farrell, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Phone Booth. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, just in one setting. And this is just on one plane, and it's done very well.
We don't want to say too much about it in case people haven't seen it.
No spoilers.
I think it's quite a good story.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to really catch up on Netflix as well too. Tubi, Amazon Prime, and Hulu, Disney Plus. It's like, too many channels out there. I even lose track of what game is supposed to be on what channel. There's like so many. I have a hard time keeping
there is now, yeah.
Or even like or even a Warner Brothers cartoon. It's like, what channel is it on? So
yeah, there is.
What channel, what platform is it's like difficult.
Oh yeah, it used to be a long time ago. It's like, what channel is this on? What network? Now it's just like, what channel? What network? What platform? And when's it on? And do we subscribe? You got like a king scroll of questions just to watch one episode. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of episodes and TV and everything else, who are some of your favorite actors and actresses and in movies and TV shows growing up?
Mine, definitely. I would say for a director and actor to me would be Clint Eastwood. And because like the fan, like I said early on, for the spaghetti westerns. I mean, apart from that, definitely Gene Roddenberry, George Lucas, Francis Ford Coppola, James Cameron, yes, for Aliens, and Terminator series.
Ridley
Scott for the
Alien,
and
the
Gladiator.
Yeah, Gladiator, and I think Ridley Scott was in Black Hawk Down too. He directed that. Ridley Scott,
man.
Yes.
Yeah.
The list is endless. But there's so many people to be inspired by,
Yeah, I mean, for me, definitely, if you're going to say about what female role models did you have growing up, for me, it was Ellen Ripley. I would say it was also Sarah Connor, the character for her, and also Captain Catherine Janeway. That if you want to have good female role models, those ones were absolutely excellent. Because you think that you think, I want to grow up and be just like that. And you see this wonderful character development, that they're flawed, that they are still human, which makes them interesting, it makes them relatable, but that it's like so many women I know have spoken to me about that scene in Aliens, where she's going down in the lift scene. And I remember myself and my younger sister at the time talking about it and to saying it's that we both watched it independently and both found that same particular scene to be so amazing because she knows what she's going down, and so you can see the look of kind of like on her face, but the drive to do that is just there to kind of like continue on. So it's human. It's not kind of like completely gung-ho. I'm completely unafraid. I'm perfect or anything like that. You can see that she's human, that she is scared, but she is still doing that. And I think that's showing various levels of a person's character and a person's personality makes them so much more relatable and understandable to think to other people, and you feel more what they're feeling when you're watching it. And I think that when you have those kinds of characters, I think that they're just very, very powerful and very relatable to be able to think like, oh, wow, what that person's going through, you can understand it more.
Wow, that is something. And I got to say that just a mix of everything and combined what you got. We'll talk about your company, Bohemian Beaumont Films, in just 1 minute. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by SoundWeb Studios. Visit online at soundwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosendia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Me and Molson Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Me and Molson Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and enjoyed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today of Goes Missing by Me and Molson Zia, available on Amazon. And don't forget, the Mike Wagner Show is also brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss grandma's meatballs, huh? The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever you get for grandma's recipes or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at Picture This Photo Books at 646-798-0809, at 646-798-0809, or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books, bring your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you. And check out the Mike Wagner Show over 30 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise at themikewagnershow.com. T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, throw pillows, tote bags, and more. Makes great gifts. And also check out the Me and Molson Zia store on Amazon for great books and other merchandise. Amazon.com/Me and Molson Zia. Check out these great books. And don't forget to support the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. Also on Anchor FM/support and PayPal at themikewagnershow.com. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a wonderful duo of Stevie, Alexandria, Maxwell, and Paul Van Beaumont of Bohemian Beaumont Films here on the Mike Wagner Show. And before we get to some of your films and your current works, tell us how you got the company started.
Well, I came up with the name, I don't know, many years ago. This is probably 2014, I think I came up with it. I think it's on my personal YouTube channel, but it was just basically having time to literally going from actor to becoming actor and filmmaker. So I was just experimenting with special effects and editing suite and experiment with different software. I think it was Sony Pro Vegas I was using, and then moving around to different software, which I found to be, right, this is the one for me. Then I started doing everything else, like learning how to do keyframing, animation, and it all came into place because the ideas that I had in mind, they were obviously required special effects. So because I'm a bit of an action freak, I like action comedy, stuff like Lethal Weapon, Rush Hour, which has got the action, but it's got the humor at the same time. So that's when, like I said, I went on to do stuff like Metamorphosis, which is a supernatural sci-fi, and The Destination, which is a straight-out science fiction film set in 300 years from now.
Wow. And
then doing The Grindhouse, which again needed special effects in it again. So it was just basically starting from there, writing, and keeping extremely busy in the editing suite.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Hence why I end up wearing glasses. So you're just staring at that screen all the time. You know, my vision has just gone completely down since doing all this stuff. But yeah.
But it's worth it when you see what comes out in the end.
It's good when you start putting it together and you start to see it. Oh, now it's starting to flow. This is how I envisioned it. And it starts.
My baby's being born.
It's starting to come alive, especially when you get the actors in, and it's like, I have to direct him, and then another actor will come in. It's like, that's exactly how I wanted it. The way you just said it, the way you played it, that's exactly how I wanted it. And then you watch it, you know, what you've written come to life. That, I think that's one of the best feelings. But editing it is even better because it actually becomes what you wanted. And you think, this is how I wanted it. This is how I envisioned it. And it's a good feeling.
It's even better when sort of like trusting me to also do directing as well, because it's kind of like
I've got you. Yeah, the progress. Stevie wrote the progress because Stevie likes to write very deep, thoughtful things. Me, like I said, I'm an action junkie, so it's good. It's good because there's two sides. You know, two people working in two different kind of styles. Do you know what I mean?
I have written an action comedy, which is one of the feature lengths which we're going to be hopefully doing. If we're
that is hilarious. Well, I think it's funny.
It's just that both Paul and I share the directing, and we share the production of all of our films that we've done.
But this one will require a budget.
The Progress was my first experience of writing, directing, producing, filming, and editing the whole thing, pretty much by myself. And so did it all in one day, but managed to win a few awards, and also managed to get was picked up at one of the festivals for a distribution, which was part of an anthology, which was kind of like, wow.
Oh, very nice.
Thought of a short film before getting a distribution deal, so that was kind of amazing. Thank you, wonderful. So yes.
Where was that again?
That was the Void Film Festival, and so that was picked up for distribution, is available on Blu-ray on Amazon, and so that was extremely good. We've just finished filming another short film which we've been doing under COVID situations, so I had to write creatively to try and make sure that the film was COVID safe. And so that's in post-production, because Paul is obviously far more experienced than I am in doing special effects. I've written a third one, which we're currently in the process of filming at the moment, which is also designed around trying to be COVID safe, and I'm going to be editing that one, which of course has also got David Biscoe in it, so we're grateful for having him on board, as we do use him quite a lot in our film. Yeah,
and Julia Florimo is in that as well. She's been on, she was in Metamorphosis,
yes, she
Dead
was.
Destination, and this new one, Echoes from Ashes.
Echoes from Ashes, which is one we're currently filming.
Yeah.
And the one that's currently in editing is called Unkindness of Raymond.
That's the quarantine film we're doing.
Yeah.
Well, it's been done. It's just in post-production.
Okay, so you got the new films in works right now, the Purger and Unkindness of Ravens. You also got Echoes from Ashes, The Worst Medicine. Those are coming up, and Revenant Revolver, which came out in 2019 and continues to win awards to this day. And I have to say, with David Biscoe in it, that's got to be like your best project.
It's very enjoyable. Absolutely, they were fantastic characters. Everybody.
Ivan Moy, he really pulled it together as well. I mean, everyone was pulling in. Stevie's part as playing a kind of the nun, which kind of influenced from Two Meals from Sister Sarah, which is another film again with Clint Eastwood.
Awesome film.
And myself playing Miguel Venezuela. It was good fun. It was good fun on set. Yeah. It came together as well, and once everything was done, because we had our microphone there and everything, it was all recorded. Because I hate ADR. I hate syncing ADR, and we had a microphone boom there, and it was done fast, quick, edited really nice and sweet, and it was
because we are the crew. It's generally in the making films. It's Paul and myself,
literally crew,
and so we do all of the editing. Paul does the tends to do all of the editing, because they split me for the special effects. I do the practical effects on the side. We share the directing, the filming of the camera, the using of the boom. Sometimes we do try and represent the odd person and say, like, if it's particularly tricky, you're having to hold the camera in a certain way.
We got Ivan
do us a favour and grab hold of this, please.
We've got Ivan to hold the boom shot anyway, and David.
Yeah. And so it's kind of, and I think that's what was a really nice feeling as well, is that because everybody tries to contribute. I know David certainly helped out on certainly doing makeup. He's certainly done things like brought their own costumes and things like that. So you try to save money wherever you possibly can. You have to try and be as creative as possible.
Oh, wow.
We're very fortunate in the actors that we've worked with, both males, females, is that they've given a lot of their time and a lot of their commitment to supporting us doing these films. And it's really appreciated, and I think we've been really, really lucky with the talented people that we've had, and the very giving nature that they have had some devotion towards their film. You know, turn up in these nice suits that they've worn, particularly for Revenant Revolver, and then have to kind of roll around in the grass, and you're just thinking like, oh, that's going to require that's going to need dry cleaning, and it's like, and having to shoot scenes sometimes again and again and again, because the way in which you're trying to get the shot right, sometimes things don't go right, so you have to keep repeating doing the film, and things sometimes take longer, but everyone still keeps their British reserve going, darling. Keep that step upper lip, and it's remember you're British and keep themselves going through. So it's very much very, very, very fortunate that we've had such great people to work with. It really is.
And that's so amazing as well, too. And what makes your films and also film company stand out from the rest?
Because we're marvelous.
I would definitely say our genres change. I mean, like I said, Echoes from Ashes is a completely different genre, isn't it? I mean, what type of genre would you describe that as, Echoes from Ashes?
I would say it's kind of
psychological,
horror, art house kind of film. And we jump around from genres. We try to
the grindhouse, into the science fiction, to supernatural, sci-fi.
We like to experiment rather than. We both love action. We both love horrors and science fiction and fantasy and the rest of it. But we want to be able to demonstrate, that we can write and create and produce films of a variety of different genres and different styles. And that gives us, I think, a much wider reach and a much better range of experiences than sticking to just one way of doing something. Because it allows us to demonstrate our capabilities just across a much more varied range.
That's really interesting. And where can we find all your films at?
I did say on YouTube is Bohemian Beaumont Films, which has got some trailers, interviews, and it's got a film up there. We obviously want to release Dead Destination, so we're looking at multiple platforms to release that on. And obviously, once Revolver has done its tour through the film festivals, I suppose again we'll be looking to release that across multiple platforms. Especially now, as you said early on, Mike, about the amount of channels there are available now, for streaming as well. So that's another one to release once that's done its run in the film festivals.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's and like I say, is that for the progress, it is actually available to buy as part of the anthology through Amazon through The Void, done by the Meridian Releasing Group. We're very grateful for being able to do that for us, which are fantastic people. Thank you.
Okay.
And we are keeping things obviously with film festivals at this moment in time. So once there's a full sales, we'll be looking to release those. But we're putting updates like that very much on our YouTube.
That's very amazing. And we'll talk about what's coming up next for Stevie and Paul with Bohemian Beaumont Films. We'll find out in just a minute. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's The of Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Also brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotobooks.com. And don't forget to mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. We'll be back with the wonderful duo of Stevie, Alexandria Maxwell, and Paul Van Beaumont of Bohemian Beaumont Films after this time out. This edition of the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss Grandma's meatballs? The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever gift of Grandma's recipes, or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotobooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books, bringing your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. spreaker.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We're back with Stevie, Alexandria, Maxwell, and Paul Van Beaumont, the wonderful duo of Bohemian Beaumont films here on the Mike Wagner Show out of London. And what can we expect from you guys in 2021 and beyond?
Definitely will be releasing, obviously, 2021 onwards will be obviously Echoes from Ashes and The Purger, which I think I'm going to change the name because there's loads of films called Purge or The Purge or The Purger.
Yeah, just a few.
Yeah. That's still in post-production, which is a kind of cross-genre. That's a science fiction Western, Purger, because, like, again, I like the sci-fi, I like the Western, so I thought I'd mix it because Star Wars, I suppose you could say, is a sci-fi Western. But this one looks more of a sci-fi Western because everyone's kind of dressed cowboy, but with plasma rifles in their hands, kind of influenced from kind of things like 2000 AD comics, which is a British comic.
Unkindness of Ravens.
Unkindness of Ravens, yes. That's in post-production. That will definitely be released before the year is out.
We're looking for locations at the moment which are available to use, obviously because of the COVID situation can change drastically from day to day, for one of our other films, The Worst Medicine. And we're hoping to see whether or not we can make an application for one of our feature films, which is a comedy action film, which I wrote, which we're talking about, and seeing whether or not we can actually get that funding for that, to be able to, because it kind of requires a budget. So we're going to try and venture into that delightful aspect of trying to get funding for that one. But I think there's one thing that I think is really good is that all of the films that we sent out to film festivals have consistently won. And not just had selections, but have actually won, which is marvellous, and we're all very grateful to all of them. Sorry, I'm trying to remember them all now. Alternative Film Festival, Stormy Weather, Film Festival.
Something Wicked was...
Something Wicked Film Festival, Best Shorts Film Festival, Wild West Film Festival.
Wild West, yeah.
I'm really sorry if I've forgotten everybody. Los Angeles Motion Picture.
Oh, yes.
You see what happens when you win too many? You're greedy.
I can live with that. Very grateful.
Those. I think that's like 6 we mentioned anyway, but those are kind of around. I mean, we're on the Tokyo Bloody Horror. No, the selection Tokyo Bloody Horror. Yeah.
So we've been really very lucky and extremely grateful to all of these people who've been very kind in being able to support us in our filmmaking.
And it shows consistency as well.
Yeah. So.
And that's a great attribute as well, too. And who do you consider biggest influences in your careers?
Biggest influences in our careers.
We love George Lucas. We love Steven Spielberg.
We were just watching Jurassic Park the other day. Yeah. It's so good. It's so good watching Jurassic Park again. You know, you just realize the way it's done, the way it's shot, the way the characters are, the way the characters have their arc. It's so good watching it again. I mean, even if you remove the special effects, it's still a good, enjoyable film.
Sergio
Leone, yeah.
Okay.
The way that's shot, and you could have a film of 10 minutes with absolutely no audio whatsoever, but you still get the feeling of what it's trying to create. It's just the tension and the humour as well of it, which is all kind of like subtle, and it's brilliant. And there's just so many fantastic people out there, because it's always who you grow up watching. It's all the films that you grow up watching that have a tendency to make you think like, I want to make a film like that. I'd love to. And it kind of gets you really excited. And you think, I'd love to. And so that's always going to be something, I think, that drives you towards that sort of genre, is what you kind of grew up with. And I was a geeky kid, and I remain a geeky adult. It's kind of like, I love my comic books.
Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, love getting Neil
Alan
Gaiman.
Moore.
Yep. I've got loads and loads of comic books. I mean, it's graphic novels. If somebody said to me, like, you can fill your library with about, give you £1,000 you could spend on books, where would you go? I would be straight down to the comic book shop. I love my graphic novels. I could spend hours in there. Forbidden Planet going in there, I could spend hours and hours in there, and far too much money. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. And what's the best advice you guys can give to anybody at this point?
At this point, if you're going to make a film, if you're planning to make a big feature film, please start small. Start on a short film, start with small crew, start with small actors, maybe 4 actors, 3 actors. That's how I would do it. Don't do what I did with Metamorphosis, where I tried to make a feature and then you meet all these multiple problems. So hence why when I did Reverend Revolver and The Right Gun, it was literally four actors, wasn't it? Yeah, and just that was it. It was just limited. Like I said, like Stevie said earlier on, we are the crew,
Yeah.
So on Reverend Revolver, we had to change it, use the boomer. Next person goes on the camera. I mean, the part with Ivan in the beginning, I mean, I tried to film that a bit like High Noon with what's his name? Cooper Cut, you should know this. High Noon with I'm not gonna say, you know High Noon. And other parts obviously are influenced obviously by Sergio Leone. So yeah, just basically start small, work your way up. That way you're gonna make mistakes. Mm-hmm. You're gonna make mistakes. Mm-hmm. So if you start small, you find out what the mistakes is, you start to cross them off on your board, say, right, never doing that again. And I think that's why the recent films like Revenant Revolver and Unkindness of Ravens will probably be much more defined films because
and if you can, write to budget. If you can, try to write to budget. Don't think that you have to have a vast quantity of money, because we certainly found that by having this kind of like day job kind of like pays for making the films, and where you can kind of like glean things every which way you can and support from people and everything, is that what you end up doing is you're becoming far more creative. You become far more creative as a person. You start understanding how things work. You start learning how to cheat things, how to do things from certain angles. You do a lot more research. And I think that it gives you a much better understanding of how everything works. And I think that makes you far more involved and invested in your own film. And I think that also inviting other people in who are like-minded, the same as yourself, is that makes them invested too, and having very much that camaraderie. I mean, you will have disagreements, you will have arguments with people and things like that. That will happen, but is that having different approaches to things can be really, really helpful, because that means that person thinks differently to you, which means that therefore that can be a help, because that way you expand what your thinking is, you expand your range of what you can or can't do through different people's skills and knowledge base. And I think that is really helpful, because you learn so much more and you understand things so much better, which then makes filming after that so much easier, because going through the rough patches, then you learn more.
Not to repeat them again.
Yeah,
right.
How to get around them as well, because you think more creatively.
Mm-hmm. And that certainly makes perfect sense as well, too. Once again, Stevie, Alexandria, Maxwell, and Paul Van Beaumont of Bohemian Beaumont Films on the Mike Wagner Show. Guys, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back in 2021 and beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. Once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your movies?
All right.
That would be, as we mentioned, the YouTube channel, which is Bohemian Beaumont Films.
LinkedIn.
And LinkedIn. Look us up on
Twitter,
Facebook, Instagram.
Yep, covers them all.
Yep. If you want to get in touch, you can message us through any of those platforms. For films, that will obviously be via our YouTube channel, which we'll be putting updates on. We'll be putting updates on all the platforms anyway, with regards to watching those. And up-and-coming projects, we've got, as I was saying, The Purger, we've got Unkindness of Ravens,
West Medicine,
which is in pre-production, and Echoes from Ashes, which is the current project.
That is so amazing. I mean, you guys got a great future. Once again, Stevie and Paul, a very big thank you for your time. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back in 2021 and beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. You guys have been absolutely terrific, and we wish you all the best. And just keep on doing it. You guys are amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Picture this photo books, where remembering is the key ingredient. Preserving memories, keeping the memories of your loved ones alive as they reach in and touch your heart. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whether it's a gift of past holidays, grandma's recipes, long ago moments, or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809. Once again, that's 646-798-0809. Or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, Custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.